2, 1. All right, everyone. Dr. Dave and Coach Monica here again at the Elitefts S5 compound. Today, we are also going to talk about bench press. And similar to what we discussed in our Ride It, Don't Fight It squat video, a lot of similar mechanics are at play with the bench press in that we have, similar to squat, an eccentric motion followed by a quick amortization phase, this time at the chest, and then concentric phase back out, which means there's a little bit of a stretch shortening cycle going on with squats and bench press, right? The trick to bench press, where squats, we get to ride the rebound out of the hole and make use of that stretch shortening cycle. In powerlifting, bench press has a pause command, which is gonna make that stretch shortening cycle not nearly as aggressive as it would be on squat here on bench press. And so instead, with bench press, we can still have a great tempo and we can still focus on not fighting the bar down, but the tempo is gonna be a little bit quicker. It's gonna be a 1-2 touch press. And the trick to a good bench press is not thinking of the pause as your enemy or something that makes the lift harder, when in reality, the pause is gonna make the lift better if you use it correctly. And so what I'm gonna have Monica do is she's just gonna do a regular touch and go bench press, and then I'm gonna have her do a version of a pause where she rushes the pause, and then I'm gonna have her do a full pause, and we can kind of see the difference at play. So let's do a regular touch and go bench press. Start. Pressed up. Good. Just one's fine.
Okay.
She's a little eager. Now we're going to do a bench press with a rushed pause. Go ahead, Monica. Start. And right back up. Now we're going to do a bench press with a full pause. Start. Press. Rack. When we rush our pauses, it is much harder and similar to touch and go to stay in the right bar path and the right position the whole lift, right? That bounce component is going to change the angle depending on how aggressively we bounce off the chest. So if I bounce hard, first thing it's gonna do is it's gonna pull my shoulders forward and my chest is gonna collapse. And then I gotta throw back. So I lose shape just to get a bigger bounce, but I've added range of motion, I've internally rotated the shoulder, and overall made it a little bit harder on myself just to take advantage of the stretch reflex. When I rush my pause, it's almost worse than touch and go, because what you're doing is you're showing you don't have confidence that you can hold the bar tight on your chest and reverse it back up. So maybe it's too heavy, or maybe you just need to commit to the pause and use it for what it's designed for, which is to optimize your bar path off the chest. And so what we're looking for with a really good pause is it's something that allows us to maintain all the tension in our position, right? In our legs, our back, our hands, and our brace. That good pause is going to maintain that position. If we rush a pause, what happens a lot of times is the same as the touch and go, where we rush that pause, and so we're bringing the bar down, and we rush out, and maybe our elbows flare. And now we're in bad position. We've got an increase in tension in the pecs that maybe the pecs don't like, and it leads to a strain, right? And so it's accepting the pause is the real trick. It's maintaining the tempo, 1-2 touch, and then accepting the pause and knowing that it's there to help you line up that perfect press off the chest. It's there to help you engage the legs and give timing for that leg drive as you press back up. The pause is there to help you and make you a better bencher, but you have to embrace it and you have to lean into it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give Monica a good solid 2-second pause, and it's gonna provide her with opportunity to engage her legs, to drive back into the pad and ride that bar up into lockout. And this is kind of how we have to train it, is by overly extending the time on the chest.
Okay.
Let's do 3. Start. 1, 2, press. Good. Again, reset. Start. 1, 2, press. Good. Start. 1, 2, press. Good. Third. Even on that third one, we could see a little bit of a lower touch, right? And that happens. But you touch lower, that longer pause is going to allow you to do this. Pull back up again and press back up. And it's how you can correct a low internally rotated shoulder touch on bench press, is just holding that pause a little bit longer so that you can then push that chest back up again, because it's come down. When you touch lower, your bar path's gonna pull your shoulders forward a little bit, but at the pause, you can just kind of do this and then lean up back into it. And it's gonna teach your body and help reinforce that correct position with the torso and chest for your bench press pause. So do not be afraid of the pause. The pause is there to set you free, and it's there to help. But you have to embrace it, and you have to hold yourself accountable when incorporating it in your training, and get long, motionless pauses and become comfortable with that. And if you can do that, your off the chest power is going to be significantly greater than if you prioritize touch and go or quick pauses in your training.